Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your day to sit with us. My name is Kyle Heckman. I'm with my ideas with Sit Rep. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. So a sit rep, I'm from the military. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. In the military, we're asked to give situation reports all the time. So a sit rep is to give a quick brief on your status, your needs, your problems, any assets you're currently in need of. They're paramount in keeping constant communication with command on troop welfare. And without them, we run the risk of assets needed to succeed not coming in a timely manner, and potential success of the mission being at risk, and then loss of life in your ranks from not having the resources needed to you. Next slide, please. If I talk fast, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. So what is your sit rep? So sit rep would be a website and a mobile app centered on connecting veterans with fellow veterans in their area, as well as the abilities for companies who employ veterans and offer discounted assistance or just specialize in veteran affairs. So legal, psychological, religious services for veterans. It would be a way for veterans to communicate with one another in a secure and safe platform that only veterans who are verified with the ID Me website could open a profile and register to see other veterans in their area. They could filter out veterans in their area down to branch. And like I said, yes, we do still get petty about that from time to time, as well as campaigns served in, Purple Heart recipients, etc. And it would give vets the ability to post statuses, needs, and give an overall sit rep to others who served. Users had the ability also to throw up a Mayday. So if veterans are suffering from depression or having thoughts of causing themselves harm or just needing someone to reach out to, they could throw up a Mayday and it would discreetly notify people they've selected to contact them. Next slide, please. So a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm a combat Marine veteran. I served in Afghanistan. After ending my active duty, I lost a few friends within a few months to just the pressure of civilian life for PTSD. And a lot of the reason why was because they didn't have anyone to reach out to. They didn't know where to go for resources or answers. And they just felt like they were forgotten. And while there are, the VFW and the American Legion for veterans of my generation, it's a lot harder. Those are typically the older school veterans. And we're more of a modern generation. So I wanted to sign something strictly for veterans to use so they could reach out and contact people with shared experiences and be able to have that sounding board and also resources available to them strictly in their local area of ways of employment or help. Next slide, please. So the current statistics on veteran suicide range anywhere from 17 to 22 a day. I've also seen upwards of 24. And currently we've lost more veterans to suicide recently than a total killed in action during the Iraq conflict. We work well with other veterans. We're a prideful bunch, so it's hard for us to open up and kind of tear down those walls to express vulnerability unless we're talking to someone with a shared experience and we seek that military camaraderie we had for so long. And there's government programs that exist, obviously, but they lack outreach and availability of information. You have to scour the internet to find, some of these resources. Next slide, please. There's currently more than 18 million in the veterans in the U.S. alone right now, and obviously more arriving every day with end of active service. We're a tight-knit community. We're very loyal to one another. I joke about the branches being a competitive bunch, but you know what? We try to take care of each other and have each other's backs. And veteran-run, owned, and operated and catered companies have seen significant growth in recent years with Black Rifle Coffee Company and Grunt Style. And the above-mentioned companies would be prime opportunities for partnership and advertising to already talk to their customer base, which is already very veteran-oriented, as well as established marketing. Currently, I haven't seen any app of this specific nature to exist, and the potential to open up to first responders and law enforcement, because they run risk of burnout as well with their long hours and things they go through from day to day, would definitely be something that this app could and website could apply to as well. Next slide, please. So the user and the platform needs, obviously the users be veterans in any branch of the DoD as well as Coast Guard because of their homeland security, first responders, law enforcement, and emergency personnel, and then local businesses and services as well. The needs, are pretty simple. all you need is a smartphone or a web browser, your proof of service through a DD-214, or even a military ID if you are in your CAC card number if you are still active service. Business information to go through if you want to actually promote your business on the platform and your services to the veterans, and then any discounts or things you can offer specifically for the veterans. And then for platforms and buyers, obviously the major app stores, and then the businesses wanting to participate. The needs for them are pretty simple. It'd be, they want it to be secure for their business. Obviously, they want it to be simple. They don't want anything that's going to have even more overhead added to them, as well as something that's going to be easy for them to run within their infrastructure without adding any more complications to what they already have on their plate running a business. And then obviously it creates positive public relations with their business, and they want that as well. They want this to be something that they can almost brag about as a business platform, and it widens their customer base as well, and they want that opportunity to expand their business and their platform to a wider range of customers. Next slide,
Thank
please.
you, Kyle. I'm actually going to have to cut you off right there
Okay.
and open the floor to judges' comments, but hopefully anything you missed will be answered in the Q&A. The first hand I see is Jay Anderson.
Hey, Kyle, great presentation, and truly agree with the need. So nice job with the idea.
Thank you.
What is the business model? How do you guys make money? Is there a subscription fee? What's kind of the thoughts around that?
So this is something I've toyed with back and forth. Initially, the general source of revenue would be through advertising, and then businesses who want to contribute to it and offer their services would just have a per seat subscription service. For users themselves, I've debated with, and talked to other veterans that I know about a freemium service where you have a base plan, and then if you want more services added, you can subscribe yourself and add to it. But since the overall need is for, and the overall mission is for veterans to have these resources, I want to keep it free for the actual participants involved, and the revenue generally would come from advertising and then the per seat subscription basis for businesses wanting to contribute.
Okay, thank you.
Next, I see Amanda Peterson.
Hi, Kyle. Great presentation, and thank you for your service. My question is from the mental health aspect, which I know is clearly a passion of yours, and your suggestion of or description of the Mayday button. How does that connect with clinical or medical professionals, things like that? How would those two things kind of interlay with each other?
So the way I would want it set up is obviously if, say I was the user and I was having, a stressful or a depressed moment, I would have a list of contacts through other connections via the app where I could send out the Mayday to them just personally if I wanted to, but also have it linked to local law enforcement or emergency medical services where you can hit that discreetly and you don't have to, alert, or stress out any of your family or friends or anything like that. If you just need personal counseling or help right then and there, you can select it to either go to, one of your buddies who you just need to talk to, or law enforcement or emergency medical services as well, or both.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don, I did see your hand raised. Was your question answered?
Yes, I'll ask a quick one. Just Kyle, just help me understand kind of exactly where you guys are at now. I assume it's fairly early stage, and what your team looks like. Who's going to build this with you?
Oh, absolutely. Great question. It is very early stage, as you said. I've been sitting on this idea for a while, pretty much since I got out. I've lost a few friends to it, and it really started. I was just me and a couple of my Marine friends. I could say a few. We've had a group chat since we got out 6 years ago, just a group text message. And I brought up the idea to them, and they're all in different phases of life now. One is a big time lawyer in Texas, one special forces, and they all said, you need to do this. And so team wise, the only thing I really have is my Marine friend who is a lawyer now is getting me in contact with some guys he knows, and he's going to be heading up doing like terms and agreement and any moderation things just to, cover the legal aspect. Development wise, I'm looking into a couple app developers currently, because until it grows, I would want just to outsource that until we would build enough to be able to maintain it internally.
I commend you. I mean, I see a lot of people doing things for the veteran community, but this is something that, you know, real hands-on and combining the entrepreneurial fervor. So good job.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kyle.